weird kind of timing for this. The reason for this is because it happens to be my girlfriend slash partner's birthday, whatever we want to call it nowadays. Happy birthday to her. So celebrations went on for a little while, so it's quite late in Australia. I got special permission from her, however, when things quietened down, for me to go and do a live stream. And so I'm very grateful to her. And also I'm grateful that she's managed to survive another year with me, basically. Just checking what this one is in the camera. That looks rather pedestrian. Now, we've got some good news. I have, as well as, survived another year with my darling girlfriend, we've got another couple of things which have been nice as well. Package of Opal has arrived. I forgot to upload the short, so I will upload that short afterwards, but it's a pretty exciting short, to be quite frank. Well, to be Philip as well, I suppose. It's raining cats and dogs, and there are poodles everywhere, as they say. I'm just going to quickly wipe this thing down because it's still pretty yuck. And I have another jar of cleaner somewhere in the car. You should see the car. It's the most ironic thing for that car to have is a jar of cleaner in it. Anywho, everything is relatively good around here. I had a new consignment of Opal, and believe it or not, this is not it. It's just that I happen to have finished with the data analysis on this particular Opal. A little while ago, I decided to begin an analysis of Opal, and what I found so far is quite interesting. It looks to me as though pretty much any Opal that you get is about half the density of what most scientists say it is. So if it's precious Opal, it's not the correct density. So we'll see how that goes, because my methodology is not particularly great, but you can't be off by that amount before you get a bit suspicious. So this Opal here, let's zoom back out a bit more. Right, there we go. Hey Gilly, yeah, I'm a bit late, sorry about that. That is a knobby from the Ridge of Lightning. So we'll get that one done, but check this one out as well. Just you wait. I just found this on the ground. Literally on the ground. Let's zoom in and see what we've got. It's very crystally, but man, that colour is just absolutely unbelievable. That weighs in about 2 or 3 carats. It's going to be nowhere near that weight when we're done with it, but we'll say 2 or 3 carats for the time being. Got other little things here. We've got some shell opal. Actually, that shell opal doesn't look particularly good. I'll leave that. We've got this guy. This will wow and dazzle and amaze and do all the things, because I've got a new consignment of opal in. So I've topped up my top stocks again. So I've got some nice colour there. In a week's time, another consignment of opals coming too. This one, I think, has got just a nice piece of colour. Where is it? I'll unplug the... Whoop. There we go. I'll unplug this and replug that just so that you can see the colours. Hopefully that'll do it. No, still not doing it. Just let me see if I can get these colours working, because this guy has to be good. Yeah, there we go. The colour's there. You can't really see it. You'll have to believe me. The colour's there. Maybe I'll move it over to here now. It's gonna play ball for us. There we go. Finally got some of that colour, but it's still not looking anything like what the colour should be. This is awesome stuff, this particular opal, and it looks like nothing on the camera. I'm not happy. This one here, similar deal. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Okay, so here you can see just a flash of red. I'll try and get that flash of red to happen again. Shouldn't be too hard because it's just sitting there gleaming at me. Basically, where you see that dark patch, that's where the red is. Let me see if I can get... There it is. See that? Nice bit of fish skin there. That's what they call it. I've got this guy. I'm just going to try and find where the colour is. This one isn't as pronounced, which probably means it's going to scream out at us from. No, well, at least it's been consistent. You can see the green just right in the middle of the thing. There's a very, very thin colour bar. I'm very interested in that. What else have we got here? So much stuff. So much stuff. Well, these are the only ones I've brought, but look, we're not going to get bored tonight. Just not going to get bored. So what I might do is I might warm us up with one of the underperformers. Then we'll move on to this guy. Then we'll move on to some of the knobbies. And I've got dozens of knobbies, really. So we're not going to worry too much. I'm just going to quickly check this guy out again. I'm expecting this guy to be one of the underperformers. We might get some colour out of it, we might not. But, you know, we're going to start off slow. My favourite colour? I actually kind of like the greens. I like the greens that kind of meld into yellows. They're not the most lucrative of colours. Red's, of course, nice. To have red on blue is, you know, the most valuable colour. But I really like these electric blues and these greens that you get. They're really out of this world. So let's get this party started. I'll zoom out again, of course. Infernal Machine has been activated. Nothing wrong with a good blue. It's technically a rubbish colour, but like, who cares? Part of my degree, believe it or not, was in the production of wines in the Hunter Valley, and I learnt a lot about how to assess wine and stuff like that, and what is important in the soil types. And like, listen, in the end, it's what you like. Basically, don't let other people define what you think is good. You know what I forgot to do? There we go. Much better. A nice electric blue opal. There's nothing wrong with that. You get some really good blues from Lightning Ridge. Now, why do you like the Lightning Ridge stuff? Some sad/good news also came through. I contacted a lady from the Opal Centre. I should actually give you her name, but I haven't got it on my brain at the moment. She evaluated one of the things I was certain was a, you know, fossil skull or coccyx or something. He said, nah, it's just random accumulation of stuff. No fossil there. Whilst that's disappointing from a fossil perspective, it means I can cut another opal, because there was certainly a lot of precious opal sitting amongst it. There we go. It's just taking off the skin, so to speak. We'll do an M&M then. 2 Trailer Park Girls. Go around the outside, around the outside. And just get this bit off first. Whoop, look at that. Little bit of sand. Next time around I will bring one of the torches out, because may as well find out before we cut the opal. Yeah, that lady, yeah, exactly that lady. If you've seen any of the Lightning Ridge videos, yeah, it's that one. I'm organising a visit, and look at that. Look at that. Okay. Bing. First catch of the day. Look at that. There's more coming too. Let's go back. Let's just very carefully maneuver ourselves. Seeing it's coming out so beautifully, I am certainly not going to mess with it. What have we got here? That can't be the only bit. Certainly is not. There it is. Yay. Second bit found. Confirmed. Second bit found. Just going to keep going down until I find it. I'll zoom in a minute. It's a beautiful rolling flash. I doubt it's very thick, so I've got to be a bit cautious. Where is it in relation to the colour bar? I don't know. So I'll zoom in and show you what we've got so far. Yeah. She does, and she's really quite expert. I should read out that email because it's pretty good. Now, you can see what's going on here. That corner has just jumped out at me, and I'm trying to preserve that corner whilst I'm trying to find the rest of it. So we'll see how that goes. I'll just go back. I know it seems counterintuitive me actually carving off the edges, but it makes life a bit easier. Also, there's no point in just having a tiniest bit of colour. You've got to have all or nothing, really. So, if I look a bit brutal with the tiny bit of colour that I've got on it, you're right, I am. I'm not scared to attack it if I have to, but I won't if I don't. Yeah, it's starting to come up everywhere now. Although I would like it to come up a bit harder. Initial burst, then nothing. Come on, we can get there. Well, that'll be annoying. Oh, got some there. Brilliant. Saw it diving away down here and I thought, well, give it a go. I was right. It was diving away. So let's just... I don't want to do this. What have I done? It survived. Don't like doing that. Like I said, I'll do it if necessary. So I've already prepared the drop to go, but it's got to have other colour on it for it to work. Welcome to the frustrating world of Opal. Nada, nothing. Zip. So I have to approach it from the other side. Let's have a look. Alright, desperate times call for desperate measures. What have you got in store for us, little Opal? Yep, I can see that there, so let's bring that in. Do exactly the same on the other side. I know it sounds destructive. Clearly is. Okay, so it was either a very small amount of colour or blown straight through it. Any one of those could have been the option. I knew from the start it was a very thin colour bar, so what I'll do is I'll just prepare the cab like I normally do and hope for the best. I'll polish it up when I've got the time, and hopefully this guy will just turn out nice. But for the time being, all I've got is one tiny little bit of colour in one corner. All by myself, the colour is. I'll tell you how this one fares, but I'm not going to waste any more time on it because I've got plenty more to do. So, you know, that was always going to be a little bit of a fun project. Looks like I've missed out. Okay, well, I'll move on to the next one. Let's do this guy. This is looking very promising. Nice red colour. Yeah, go make your coffee, mate. Here's a oh, that's a teardrop. Yeah, it's one of the standard shapes that you make. One of the things that you tend to do is you just you get good at making those standard kind of shapes, and one of them is a cab, one of them is a drop. The other one's a heart, but you don't get the opportunity often to do a heart. It's only when the drop goes wrong. I'm hoping this one will be more than a lovely shape, because I'm pretty certain there's some nice opal in here. Flattening out the back, and it looks like the back is going to be the front. Look at that. So if you have a look there, we're starting to really push home here, which is good. Now the only problem I can see is that there's a lot of cracking on the front here, on the back actually now. I'm not sure how much that cracking goes into the opal. I'm going to pretend that crack is not there for the time being, which is a pretty bad strategy actually. Let's go and have a quick look at depth. No, it's going straight through. I'm going to have to cut it. Don't be silly, Phil. Gee. This is the problem. You go, and it's part of the sunk cost fallacy. You're always there going, I want to have that giant, massive, big stone. Now, the reason why it's coming out so well is there's that dark patch behind it. That dark patch behind it also is a slightly different piece of opal, which is causing the cracks to occur. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to... This needs to be round, so I'm going to simply get rid of the corners. As a matter of fact, seeing that was previously a drop there, I'll just make this into a drop. Trying not to carve too much of this back off, because that's part of the reason why the colour's so vivid. You've got to make it nice. Hopefully it's facing well. Okay, let's zoom in. Just so you can see what I'm seeing. Look. Photography, come on. So you're seeing just a little bit of green. There's a whole lot of red here. So we'll go back out and we'll try and get more of this happening. Really don't like mottling in the opal, but you know, you gotta just do what you can sometimes. Finally, thinking that colour would never appear. There we go. Alright, we got that colour. What I'll do is I'll be very cautious now because we're running out of opal. And I need to flatten out this back on the correct side. Which also means getting rid of some of that darkness, which I don't want to do. Okay, so here on in, that's going to be topped up. But it's a nice colour. I'll zoom in, see what I can get ya, because it's a really nice colour. Just can't get it. Can't get you that colour. You can just see a little bit of the red coming through. A little bit of red, a few blues. It's nice colour, but hopefully I'll be able to blow past that black as well. Right, I'll try to do the other side, see if I can get that happening any better. I think I probably can, because it seems to be a side that behaves itself a bit better. So let's just first get the opal sorted out, and then we'll worry about the shape. So this crack at the back needs to be dealt with, which is a bit of a shame. Sometimes it's the cracking that helps with the colour. Might be what happened previously. Seems to be working okay. Maybe even just carving off that section. I'm just going to pretend it's okay now, because I think I've got most of the cracking off anyway, so it should be all right. If not, then it's just a little bit of thickness off the side will have to go. That's all. Just having a look at what I've done so far. Interesting. So it's down on the corner of the drop, which is a bit annoying, but you know, whatever's. I can sort of bring this edge in on the back to make it a bit better. It's a bit of a cheat, but as you can see, it's worked. Or mostly worked anyway. Nearly got that crack fully removed. Only got a little bit to go, but man, we're close to the colour. It's a bit annoying. Here we go. Sometimes you just got to do these emergency jobs on the opal though. You've got to just get it done. If I had a choice though, I'll cut that section off. Okay, come on. I'll actually grind away the edge here, because that's where the cracking actually is. Yeah, I'll turn it into something a little bit more stable. Just around. Bit of a caddy. There we go. There's still a little bit wrong with it, but that's good enough for the time being. Nice colour in there, and it's not just white, it's really good. Alright, let's have some fun now. We got some better opals out here. Now, it's just a case of, do we go into the knobbies or do we go into the cubipedes? Either one will be fun. Seeing we've done a lot of cubipedes, I think we'll do the knobby first, because this is interesting. It's got a crack right down the middle of it, which I want to get rid of. But the colour is absolutely fantastic. Going in, show you. See the crack, obviously, which is a problem. Colour, which is not as much of a problem. So let's see what we can do with that. I'm going to try and cut the crack off, but I'm also going to go crack side because obviously the colour is beautiful. There we go, got it off. So I'll have a look at this and see what it actually is. I think if I put it up against the black, we'll see. Hopefully it'll stick. It did last time. It'll come across as a bit of a blue colour. So it's worth keeping a bit, I suppose, but not all that great. Now, basically what I'm seeing here is it's two knobbies stuck together. It's not exactly a crack. You can see that that's the bottom of a knobby. That's a white cap even. So the opal's done all sorts of things which it's not supposed to do, but we don't care. We just want to get the colour out of you. So let's see first up, can we get away with cutting the top off and getting that colour out? That will be an absolute miracle if it happens that way. So far, so bad. So let's try going in from an angle. You can do this. So far, so bad. Going from the other angle. Not getting desperate. He says desperately. Wow, it's just not giving up its secrets, is it? Okay, desperation move, go from the other side. Wow, it's just not going to do it, is it? Oh yes it is. Oh yes it is. From this side it'll do it. Slightly better orientation, but not much. Once again, don't worry, because we've got plenty. I've gotten a new consignment of opal, and I was hoping this one would be quite spectacular, not the damp squib it ended up being. But don't worry, we'll just keep going. We'll just keep getting things. We'll get there. You can see that the colour is just coming through at the... yeah. Alright. I know what it's doing. Let's see if that does it. Yes, it does. Alright, I know how it works. I've cut through most of it, but now I know how it... So basically what you've got to think about it is, this corner of the opal here is the engine room of the opal, where the colour is getting generated. So if you actually cut the opal back to have the face away from the engine room, then the colours will actually go up through the opal and go through from the engine room. That's how this particular opal works. Some of them do that, not very many thankfully, because they're a pain. The rest of that will have to be done through the dot stick, and I'll give that a 50-50 chance of actually coming up with anything good. Right, let's do another knobby. Surely this one, surely this one, surely this one. Let me show you what we're dealing with. I was pretty certain we'd have something good by now. We'll see if this one follows the protocol or actually give us a good opal. Thank you. Okay, that bit just needs to come off. It'll also give us an indication of what's going to happen to this opal. So this is the bit that I cut off. Okay, so we've got some fairly specific facing instructions basically. Let's have a look at this bit. Nothing there, plenty there. So we just have to respect the opal a bit as we cut it. I'm going to try cutting it from this side, seeing if we get anywhere. We might not, but it's worth the risk. Gives us a much bigger opal to play with. Right, so this side's the only facing side, so what I'm doing is I'm just doing my best to get the angle so that we've got as much opal as possible. So it's a bit of a hybrid, but it works. Basically what we've got here now is a, I'm going to give it a nice high dome, or high as it can go, just to make sure that the angles give it as much shine as possible. Right, so what I've done is, this is a compromise, but it's a good one. Just carefully cut this back a bit, because I don't want to cut too much of it back. It's taunting me there because it's pretty easy to go this way. I can see that. But in order to have it going well, you need to have some kind of backing. So what happens, you'll notice at certain angles, it'll flash up. And that's what I want. It's a compromise, but it means that this side faces. So when you wear a ring like this, you'll have it, and just every now and then you'll be drawn to the flash. It'll smack at you, which is a good effect. Not the most valuable of effects, but it's a good effect. All right, what else have we got here? And like I said, we've got plenty to play with. And when you've got plenty to play with, you don't expect them all to go well. You've got to expect a few duds in amongst them, or else like opal wouldn't be worth anything. Okay, so this one, if I recall correctly, I think this one's just like opal that I want to see the sand away from. So there's nothing particularly spectacular about this one as far as I know. Just want to take the sand off it. And there is a good reason why I want to take the sand off it, by the way, because this was attached to a pretty colourful opal. Now the opal does whatever it damn well pleases, so you can't expect it to be sitting under the sand, but could be. Let's have a look at what we've got so far. Stone Cold Motherless, nothing. Let's have a look on this side. That's enough to tell me what's going on. Hang on. Don't get all excited. I thought I saw something, and I'm not going to get happy until I genuinely do see it. I thought I saw something, so that means I am going to continue with this. That could well be just a figment of my imagination, so don't assume. They're just going to assume I'm just giving it a bit of a haircut, seeing what's going on. I'm preparing this as I prepare any other piece of black potch. Just got to hold, get rid of the hole. I think the hole's going to go straight through. So it's the best way to cut it. Straight through the middle. One of these pieces is going to go flying, by the way. There it is, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. Found it. Okay, it's tiny, but we're getting it. I saw it for sure that time around. Okay, so if I bring this colour out, it's going to be a miracle, but it's just along this edge. What have we got here now? I know what you are. Now don't get all hopeful, because this is another of these ones in which the chances of getting it right, very, very slim. But there's a slight decoloured patch sitting here. That discoloration is where the colour actually is, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And it is associated with this little chunk of sand over here. So when people are complaining about sand, don't. Sand is beautiful. It's what gives us what we want. Now, let's see. Can I find that chunk of colour? Or have I blown through it again? Now I have to. Okay, see that dark patch there? That's where the colour was. I'll just try one last chance to try and face it, because it's the only reason why we didn't see it was because it was faced the wrong way. Maybe. Come on, you can do this. Oh, come on, you're trying to shine through. I can see you. It's not going to play ball, I don't think. I know where it's supposed to be. I know where it's supposed to be. I just can't get it out. Damn it. Doggone it. Americans will be up soon. They can say things like that. Oh well. Should I have a look at this bit and see what we can get out of it? Sorry, I'm going to hold it up. No, I think it's going to be too depressing. Right, so let's go on to the next bit. And don't worry, there's so much stuff here. There's just this tiny little one I'm trying to find. Skip this one. Bit of it blast through. Gilly, there is a blue one here somewhere. I don't know if this is the one though. Opal, you're the one. Hope not. Very small amount of blue there. Certainly hope it's not. That means that we've destroyed the entire thing. or not. I don't think it is the right one though. So you can take comfort in that. There was nothing there. That's a bit irritating, but don't worry. I really have got so much stuff to play with. I'm not concerned. Let's go have a crack at this guy. This is a piece of shell opal, and I've salvaged it specifically to have a go. Very thin, but we'll have a crack. Let's have a look what's underneath that crusty exterior, huh? We're seeing something. We're seeing something. Now, I'm not sure people from other countries are going to appreciate this example, but they can probably apply it to other sports. I can remember a time in the 90s and 2000s when our Australian cricket team was doing really well, winning every single game without question. That was probably one of the most boring periods in my life, because like you just go to a cricket match and like, yep, the Aussies would win, then they'd go home. And if the other guys came within, you know, half of the total that the Australians were getting at the time, well, that was a good game. But realistically, the game of cricket was not winning out of that. It was making it, as far as the Americans are concerned especially, more boring than it already is. So, tension and drama is constructed by the fact that there is a good chance that you won't succeed. And that's what we're doing here. We're creating tension. I meant to do that, in other words. Looking very matrixy here. Red pill or the blue pill? That red jet is just continuing to stay in there. And it's interesting because that tells me something about the drainage situation going on. Having to wash it off because it's really sticky. But have a look at that. Yeah, I know. Well, this is looking like a matrix opal to me. What I might do is I might actually cook this one. Let's cut that back off it. Wow, that's a ferrosalt. In case you're into soil science. But it's sitting there hiding in amongst the matrix as well. So there's a hydrophilic layer sitting in there, which is, wow, this is unusual. Okay, so I've persisted a bit on the bottom side and I've found something, so I'm just going to persist a little longer before, you know, I turn the whole thing into powder. There we go. So, look at that. Nice bit of opal underneath there after all of that effort. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just carefully carve a little bit more of the back away. I may have to cut it in half just to keep it stable, but I'll dop it up. I'm wondering whether it is actually worth cooking it. Let me have a look. Whoop. Ouch. That didn't hurt. That's precious opal, which is sitting in amongst the... I'm just taking a bit of risk here. I can afford to with the amount of opal I've got at the moment, so... Go hard or go home, I reckon. So there's a good chance that I will destroy this opal in the attempt to make it better. So far so good. What I will do, however, yeah, I reckon, yeah, I'll cut it in half without using the saw. All right, I'll polish that up, and if it can't polish, I'll cook it. I know a good recipe. Okay, so what have we got left? We've got the good one, I think. No, I've got two good ones. Two good Cubipedes. Now, if these don't work out, I'll just duck inside. I was pretty certain that all of these would actually go well, and so, you know, them's the breaks. What I can do is I can simply duck inside and get some more, because I've got so many, it's not funny. But I estimated that was enough to get a good show. I just, well, basically I estimated wrong. I think that's the second time in my life I've ever been wrong. You're right. The thing about it is, though, those, I am going back on a conversation you mentioned ages ago. Let me see. Over here somewhere I've got some opal. I'll just show it to you. I think it's here. Underneath here. Not that one. Yeah, this one. This is the guy I'm thinking about. So if you have a look at that, that's blue. And it's not precious blue, but it's a nice blue. And yeah, you could cut that into a few cabs, and you could make some pretty stones out of that. It's got a nice little black base there. You could do things with it. But you're right, it's got no colour. It's not got no fire in it. Not got no play of colour. But it is a beautiful stone. I'll keep it that there. In the meantime, this is what's happening to this guy. Have a look at that. Now, Jay's for Genius, you're not used to seeing this kind of thing, I know, but this is called not getting opal all that often. Okay, we've got, this is wood opal. There you go, that's, you can see the striations of wood. Yeah, so when you're not around, as a general rule, I sit there and I just cut up stones and get no result. And that's what no result looks like. Now we're done mucking around with that, we're going to go back to getting good results with you around. This is no surprise if you've identified it as wood opal and you find some sand in it. Even though it's this nice bright white colour, it's not a surprise at all. Just purge it. Okay. Small crack. Time to do the base to see if we can actually find any cracks that exist in there as well. That's good, it'll help me score out all of that other stuff. Oh, that's so kind of you, Jay. I think part of the deal is persistence. But yeah, having an eye for colour, and believe it or not, like being a GIS analyst, I think does help. I don't exactly know how, but it does. I'm going to have to bring this bit in. This is all sand from the wood opal, I think. So, yeah, as a matter of fact, we'll just bring it up to the light, and you can see those dots there. That's all the sand. And that's, now that I know a little bit more about this stuff, I know that this is basically evidence of something called xylem and phloem, which is the way that nutrients get transported up a tree. So I know that this particular opal piece, even though it's very, very small, it came from a dicot. So, like a carrot or a daisy or a dandelion, probably is one of those glossopteras, which I always get, which you guys probably don't know anything about. When I go fossil hunting in Newcastle, nothing but glossoptera. Re-establishing the old connections. Well, there's no crowd of randy males for you to fight off today, Jay. I may have to get rid of that half of it because it's, as a matter of fact, you can see the line that the xylem and phloem goes along, and I'm going to just consider that to be waste, because I think I might be able to cut something from the wasted piece, but whilst it's there, it's a plant-based thorn in my side, which is very appropriate. Once again, drop shape. Just take this bit off, unfortunately, but yes. And now we are going to try and keep the base as stable as possible, which means we will sort of ignore those bits. I'll kind of roll them in a bit to make them a bit less obvious, and also it does minimise them a bit as well. But basically, we're done with it. So there we are. At long last, we have an opal that's got a decent amount of colour in it, even though there might be a few bits that need trimming. Silly thing. Last trim, I promise. There we go. Perfect. No more, please. No more. I like the carrots as they are. It's a dicot, so a carrot does apply. Carrot does apply. I know that you do prefer gentlemen, but the thing about it is that it just seems at about 7 o'clock, I reckon, there's this witching hour basically, and these people come along and they're just trying to shock you. And I've noticed that you've been excellent backup during those times. It's a combination of gentle put downs and just ignore behaviour. You've got to get the formula right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't have that much of a potty mouth, but I can do it. I've been a bloke in the schoolyard. I've done stuff like that, but it's not my style. This is my style. I mean, opal. That's elegant. If I like to say so myself. What I'll do is I'll go from the top top shelf to grab a few, or should I go and get some more knobby? That's an interesting question. Sorry, I'm still making a decision. Have a look at this guy. I'm wondering whether we should... That one might be a failure. It might fall apart. I'm going to definitely have to cut it in the middle there. But it's certainly got a lot to like about it. There's that crack there, of course. There's that crack there. But I think that part there is the nice solid opal. So there's that. There's also this, which is maddeningly interesting. I'll get you at the right angle. You can see there's just this very, very thin line. Very thin line just sitting above some pink potch. Now what I don't know if you know this or not, but I've been searching for quite some time for a pink opal. A proper pink opal. One which has got colour, it's got play of colour, and it's got a pink base. This looks like my bunny. I reckon this might be our pink opal. Now I don't know if it's particularly valuable, it's just I want it. So I think you were talking about the previous one, but I think this one looks much more interesting. We'll do the, I don't know. Let's just, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, this one. Alright, so let's see if it just breaks first. Bring it out. Yes, it does. Piece just fell off. That piece there, that will make a pointer, which is good. Let's just quickly do that. Now as you go this way along the opal, it becomes more stable, but we are going to get a lot of breakage on the way. One other thing, J's for Genius, if you saw these opals, like au natural, that's a bad way of putting that, if you saw all these opals, you know, under the natural sunlight, as I see them, it's a little bit easier to pick out the colours. I just dropped that piece because it, there we go. Just looking at what to do with it. You might have noticed that I was fully expecting it to crack like that, so I'm not worried. The only concern I have is I can see where some of the colour is flashing out, and I'm trying to preserve that whilst at the same time stabilising the opal properly. Once again, an awful lot of red earth, which is indicative of good drainage. So I'm seeing this time and time again. You get some good red earth sitting around and the opal is nice and colourful. So I'm going to say, and it's probably a pretty easy assumption to make, that part of the formula of getting opal to work is to have water running through the profile. It's going to make a lot of sense because you have a lot of people who are of the more natural inclinations, you know, the people who will tell you that crystals have got power and all that sort of stuff, which isn't wrong, by the way, because believe it or not, our fire starters are powered by crystals, quartz crystals. There's something called the piezoelectric effect, so you can't fault them for that. But at the same time, they'll be saying that, you know, opals are kind of like a water-based gem, and well, yeah, it is. So once again, they get a nice A from me, because what they're saying, it might be new agey, but it's also very scientifically backed. I was just watching a PBS Space Time about black holes and their theories, and I really don't want to go into this because it's a very heavy topic. But the basic idea is, if you keep heading north and end up at the North Pole, it's not like direction becomes infinite. It's just the way the coordinate system works. That north happens to be everywhere at the North Pole, or south happens to be everywhere at the North Pole. It's not that you've suddenly got an infinite amount of Earth. Just the maths breaks down a bit. I think you'll find when we start looking at black holes properly, it's not so much that they're all infinite and horrible objects. It's that they're probably just a breakdown in the maths. It is PBS Space Time. There's this loose cannon academic by the name of Sabine Hossenfinder, I think her name is, and she will always be a foil to PBS. I'm not into crank theory so much, but the weirder the better. And you may be aware of the crisis in cosmology at the moment, and I think that's another case of where people just haven't done their homework properly. I think you'll find there'll be a perfectly mundane solution to all of that. Like someone will find out that light does have mass or has gravity or something like that, and when you think about it, after billions of years, for example, a piece of light, pulling on the piece of light in front of it might stretch it out a bit, for example. That's just one idea, and I'm not saying that's what is the truth, but it'll be something like that. Right, so I'm going to give this one a partial success. What you've got here is you've got a nice... I love crystals. I love crystal opals, right? But if you look in the middle of it, if I can get it to do it, there's... Yeah, there we go. Just poke it up a bit. Come on. There it is. There's a bit of green. Bit of green sitting just in the back there. So, nice little opal-y piece. Just have to get rid of that score that was sitting there. And that also has the effect of almost permanently fixing the green in place, which is good. Nice. Unless, of course, you're zooming in which case it gives you stone cold muddleless nothing. But when I'm looking at it, I see a green bit. And I'm not lying to you. I promise, I swear. This actually looks like that crystal shard from the Dark Crystal, if you've ever seen that movie. Alright, let's see what we can make out of this. Let's see if we can do more fun with this. Once again, we're not going to be wasting our blades. No, we're going to use our hands. Only a real man cuts opals with his hands. There we go. Now, I have no idea what this opal's doing because my hands are covered in red muck. I'm like Lady Macbeth, out damn spot. Let's have a look. Okay, Jay, don't lose hope about math. I was an absolute dummy at maths and I ended up teaching statistics at university. Up until I was 30, I was happily very bad at maths. Never had any idea I was good at it. It's not you, it's the way it's taught. I genuinely not only believe that, I know it to be true. Because somewhere along the line you're told that maths is about numbers, and it isn't. It's about communication. If you want any confirmation of that, some of the best professors in Oxford and Cambridge and all that, they can't do mental arithmetic. What they can do, however, is dream up new ideas for the numbers to do and then get someone else to do it. So once again, we've got the same situation with this. We might go back to, opals for a second. This is not as green as the previous one, but it is a little bit. I'm not going to bother labouring it and getting it out, but it is green. Let's try and get another piece going. Now, I think we're out of bits to break. What a shame. So this opal is one step closer to the edge, and it's about to break. I'm going to have to cut off the end, I think. Oh yeah, cold. It was 11 degrees last night. I told everyone not to put the heaters away just yet. As a matter of fact, all the way up until December sometimes. For those people who are not in Australia, do your own weather. I don't know. I'm not being rude, but I don't know. As a matter of fact, I'm feeling pretty good about the fact that I know something about what a Fahrenheit is. I'll give you all the rule of thumb, and it's not a perfect rule of thumb, but it works well enough. The rule of 40s. At negative 40, Fahrenheit and Celsius are the same. So negative 40 is negative 40 Celsius is negative 40 Fahrenheit, which is kind of good. At 40 Fahrenheit, it's 0 Celsius or thereabouts. It's not perfect, but close enough. At 40 Celsius, it's 100 Fahrenheit. Hopefully that helps. I have been out of the agriculture for a while. Last time I was about, 2018, 2019. It was at the end of that horrid drought. And we were trying to do experiments in plant nutrition with satellite imagery. And we were asking the farmers to go out and take samples of their plants and to waste money on workers and stuff, just to, not to satisfy our curiosity, but, to get the information on plant nutrition. That was tough times because, you didn't know what the farm situation was like. And here you are saying, go do some more work. Well, the best idea is to get a compost heap going. And whatever grows out of the compost heap, you plant. Because they're the ones that take no maintenance. Okay, so this one's looking a bit better. I've just got to straighten it out. Do I just go from that side? I don't know. So indecisive today. And here's my theory about it, and maybe it's a bit biased by the fact that I did GIS analysis, but I don't think people have green thumbs. I think they have green eyes. The general idea of that theory is that, well, not everybody is exactly 6 foot. There are a few that are 5'11". There are a few people that are 2 meters because we use metric system around here. There's a variety of different heights. There's a variety of different weights that people are. I'm not going into that too much. But you've got all of these things. People are a bit different. Cucumbers should be good, but the thing about cucumbers and pumpkins to a certain degree is you've got to fertilise them yourself. So if you find a, just whilst we're on that, a pumpkin is a cucumber, by the way. Just thought you'd be interested to know that. There should be colour in here somewhere. Once again, it's a case of, trust me, I'm a doctor. Oh dear. Right, we're going to do this one. Yeah, so the species name of pumpkin is cucurbita, if that gives you an idea. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally just slice the top off this guy because I'm interested in the bit that's right up against the pinch. And I am so glad that there were none of those people there. No! Well, that's for what I said. Okay. So this in scientific parlance is a dog's breakfast. My grandfather said measure twice, cut once. He's probably turning in his grave. Right. We'll leave that. Do apple cucumbers self-fertilise, mate? Well, technically they are extremophiles, aren't they? They should grow anywhere. I think cucumbers are just a bit different in that they don't germinate well. I'll tell you what's an interesting challenge, and possibly if you're in a bit of a warmer climate, there is a fruit called an achacha. And I challenge you to find one because they are absolutely delicious. My birthday's in February and they seem to come out about that time. I've been able to grow the seedlings. Okay, so let's just go into some diagnostics for you. Do they do anything special to the soil? Do they amend the soil? Is it a raised bed or is it just an ordinary garden bed? Is there compost? Is there fertiliser? What's their watering regime like? What's your soil like, Gilly? Has it got sand in it? Because if it's got sand, the chook poo is not that necessary. As a matter of fact, sometimes the chook poo actually takes the nitrogen out of the soil. Hang on, we're going ahead of ourselves here. What's your soil like? Right, so if it's clay, the worst you get is kaolinite clay, which has got, well, it's got a CSC of 60 compared to organic matter, which is 2000. But sand has got none. Go yellow, that's nitrogen, chook poo. But what might be happening is that if you get fresher manure and put it on there, there's just this moment's lag where the plants, where the soil actually is starved of the nutrients as the bacteria and the mycorrhizal fungi starts to take over. So you're putting lots of organic matter down and it's actually making your soil worse. It sounds like you've got that going on. Because I'm willing to bet that your pumpkins are extremophiles. They like low nutritious environments. Okay. There is a home test you can try. If you've got a friend who has a fish tank, I know this sounds weird. Okay. This is not a one-stop shop fix, I'm afraid. Basically, the CAC of a soil that I was talking about before is the capacity of a soil to hold its fertiliser. If your soil is, for example, sand, low CAC, doesn't matter how much fertiliser you put in, it'll hold none of it and it'll just run off into the waterway. If you've got a little bit of clay sitting in there, then it will hold some of your fertiliser. But just dumping it on does nothing. You've got to dump on the right amount. And what it means is that you've got a time between when you've dumped your fertiliser on and when the fertiliser will essentially run off, and you've got to redo it. If nitrogen is indeed the problem. But yellow is definitely an indicator there. Yeah, and like I said, it's not a one-stop shop for that, I'm afraid. You have to just sit there and slowly ameliorate your soil. You can't just, add stuff. Growing a crop is actually nitrogen mining when you think about it, because your plants take stuff out of the soil, and when you cut them up and harvest them, then yeah, they've taken that and it's not coming back. So you've got to replace it. The other thing is, when you're replacing your soil, the balance of chemicals, basically it works like this. The roots will throw in a hydrogen ion to take up the nutrients, whatever nutrients they are. So every time your plant gets a little bit more nitrogen in it, it's actually making the soil a bit more acidic. Now the problem with acidity is it makes your soils less fertile. So if your soil has got a pH of 7, then it is it's twice as hard to do a soil of a pH of 6 to get that to give up its nutrients. So one thing you could try is just liming your soil. I'm having to concentrate on the opal here, so I'm hoping Gilly's giving you some good advice. He sounds like he's got his head screwed on. The other indicators of nitrogen are vegetative growth. If you've got too many leaves sprouting out, then what's happening is that you've got too much nutrition at the beginning before they're starving at the end of the thing. It's all rather confusing, really. And as an aside, guys, have a look at this. I don't know if you can see, but we've got a little bit of colour just coming through here. I don't know how well I can make this stick, but it's just sitting there at the edges. But because it's pretty much shaped like a dish, I don't know if I can actually get this to work. That they will, Gilly, that they will. Good way to get rid of weeds, though. You also shouldn't grow tomatoes in the same spot, by the way. I know Gilly knows that, but there's these nematodes that infect tomatoes, and they stay in the soil, basically. I don't know how professional tomato growers deal with it. I know I have one mate who does hydroponic tomatoes. At least he says they're tomatoes. I think you should, Jag. I think you've just been unlucky. Finally. I think I'm getting some pink colour, which is what I want. Let's have a look here. Yeah, it is. That's what I want. It's not going to be as vibrant as I want it to be, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. I think having the pink framing it is actually kind of nice, but we'll see. Okay, so there's not much colour there, but it is a pink solid opal. Like, you can see the sparkle, and it'll probably be better in the daytime, and I will give it a bit of a rundown on the, as a matter of fact, we'll do that now. Just quickly, and then we'll go in and have a look at the birds. Okay. Ugh. Should I use the glass sheet? Ah, who cares? Water on. One-handed. Okay, I'm going to have to get the screen over there because it's just a little bit too hard. Here we go. Gonna have to wipe it. Alright, let's have a look at this. I'm going to use the least brutal piece of equipment because I don't want to lose my colour. But here we go. You know what, this might be big enough that I can do the whole process without dopping it. We'll see. Because I am curious how this is going to end up. So I might even dop it later, but we'll give it a crack at being a natural opal. We need to bring that in a little bit further, so we'll go over here. Well, yes, that is as brutal as it sounds. Hello, Opal guy. You know what I'm going to do? You're going to like this. It's pink, right? Go on this side, try and get it working. We'll get the divot sorted out later. Just find out what the tomato dust is made from. What's the company that makes it? Is it just to get rid of mites and stuff, or those little thrips? Yeah, I think I know the stuff. It's in a little can, isn't it? Find out what the active ingredient is, and it'll make life easier for you, because, like, your plants don't care about brands. The little white ones, you mean, Gilly? Need a bit of a... I have to use this for the back of it. working out how I wanted to. Too hard to get into, hard to reach places, I think. Oh well, doesn't matter. Let's straighten it out a bit. Yeah, I think they're thrips. Not that it matters much. They do the same thing. Hang on for a second, I'll be right back. Oh, hang on, you can see what I'm doing. Oh, hello. Right, here we go. Back. Right. It's trickier to do than they look. Okay, let's try. Don't get carried away, Phil. Try and get it done right. Got a lot to think about here because I'm trying to make sure that the outline is the same, and you know, it's Opal. It's not sitting there trying to be the perfect medium for this. Definitely going to have to top it to make sure that I get the right shape out of it. Now, how do we do this? Just over here. Well, that's a rough outline sorted out. What I'll do is I'll go on to the more serious polishing equipment now and just try and get the colour to come out. I'll work hard on actually getting the shape right later, but it's very hard to sort it out. Oh, look. Believe it or not, if you want to use something against... The best organic thing against moths and everything else is actually coffee, would you believe? Coffee and aspirin. Salicylic acid and caffeine, because those two are what they call plant primers. Basically, it gets the plants talking to themselves and it makes them act as if they're already under attack. Good question. They'll probably be in your garden amendments. I'll have a look at the literature. Because all I remember is that they're plant communicator hormones. So but it's certainly the truth what I'm telling you, so there'll be something. The original one was peanuts, wasn't it? It wasn't for tomatoes though. But that's your standard crop rotation. Okay, let's move this thing over to here. And we'll move the up we go. Move the camera away and let's I'll just hold it. Let's say I hold it. Okay. Other way, other way, other way, other way. Oh, come on. What are we going to do? Wow, it's being choked off, is it? There we go. Is that better? Great. Perfect. Right. Whoa, that went badly. Got to get a grip fill. In these instances, the wive tails tend to be more true than you expect. I wouldn't be that quick to dismiss them. By the way, it's a significant others embellishment nowadays. Got to be politically correct. Found a little bit of a hot tip here. Let's try. Where is it? Straight in. Turn this off. Straight onto here. Right. Right, back on we go. Now there's a bit of a 3K grip on that now. Oh, that's a good idea. Doesn't work on cockatoos. I'm sure that, like, I think those little white things on the tomatoes aren't cockatoos. I could be wrong. There we go. Let's see how this has worked out. I'll try and get it to shine up a bit better later, but we'll turn all this off. Not that great. Hang on. I'm going to have a look at it. This will be a later project, I do believe, but let's zoom in on it. What have we got? Not too bad. But you've got to work on that white facing. So that's going to be in the, hopefully it'll be sorted out tomorrow pile. And I'll go inside. Oh. Hello guys. What have you done? How have you done it? Yeah, it is. It's the trouble is that you've got to, because there's the pink potch and the white stuff is where the colour is. It's quite a nuisance. They are indeed. They must come from Quakers Hill. They don't. Yeah, I'm coming. All right, I'll show you something really cute with these birds, maybe. Hey, Max, you want to come out? Do you want to come out? Hello. A scratchy patch. There you go. There you are. Nice little birdie. You were scratching him the other day. I tell you what, Max has got a few decibels in him. Loki's nothing compared to Max. But Max has been cowed into silence, which is a bit sad. So, believe it or not, when Max is making a hell of a racket, we're actually quite happy for him. He doesn't keep it up for too long anyway. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, this came out of him today. That's one of his crest feathers. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the thing about it is that wild cockatoos screech in a different way to tame ones. And Max has a wild screech. So it's a bit sad to think about it that the wild screech might be because he comes from the wild, but he seems happy enough here. That seems to be coming out, yeah. Yeah, well, you can see that a lot of these crest feathers are actually coming out. Like, they are not supposed to move like that, and they're getting really ratty. They love lemons. They absolutely go nuts for lemons. Of all the fruits, lemons. I don't know why. I'll bet you it's not because they stole the lemons out of the tree that annoys you. It's because they stole them, took one bite, chucked it on the ground, then stole another one. Here we go. Let's have a look at your... Are you going to bite me again? Because we've got quite a good track record now, haven't we? We should have one of those little number of days since being bitten. There it is. There's your old ear hole, your lug hole. He likes getting that scratched. One bite in everyone. That sounds about like you, doesn't it, Max? Would you take one bite out of a lemon and chuck it? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, for me, like, I've got to do a dog poo run every now and then. And so what I do is I feed lemons to the birds, and whatever's left over, I just pick it up off the... Sorry, babe. I pick it off the ground, and I then chuck it on the ground, and I get all the dog poo and I put it in a corner somewhere. But then I run the lemons over that, so that it certainly gives a much better quality to the evening air. By the way, there is a reason why cockatoos do that. They're a vital part of the ecosystem, and it's their way of sharing too. I don't think they mean to be sharing, but they do. So they get something off the top of a tree. Actually, I got that off another bird channel. I should find the bird channel I got that from, because I don't want to plagiarize. But yeah, just know it's not my info. Yeah, it's a biological sharing thing. So they chuck things on the ground, other animals get to it, and also it's a good way of propagating seeds. So yeah, cockatoos are very good for the ecosystems in that they do chuck their fruit the way they do. Just not for us. This one? How's that, huh? Is that good? Not going to tempt fate too much. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something funny. Oh, by the way, these are the rubs that I'll be doing over the next couple of days. Where is your stick? Where have we put your stick? It should have been over here somewhere. Over here? Nope. Your stick is gone. Oh well. Where did your stick gone? No, not there. All right. What I'll do is I'll go get something. I will put the camera here. You can watch Max and Loki whilst I go get the thing, and tell me if they do anything wrong. All right, so let's go pop this camera. How am I going to do this? I don't know. Work it out, Phil. There we go. What's going on? Message? No, I'm not pinning no messages. Okay, Max, enjoy. 5 seconds. Did you go out of shot? You're not that photogenic, you know that. All right. Okay, so I've got the things, but I've got another special treat here for him, and I'm going to have to figure out a way to do this again. We'll just pop this over here, and I'll show you what we've got. Actually, I'll flip it around. We'll go this way. Right, because it'll be easier. So I'll be able to see what I'm doing. There's Max, and I'll try and get him onto here. Max, onto here. Come on, Max. Yeah, got this. Good on you. Here he comes. Now, let me show you what the secret ingredient is. Q-tip, and exactly the same way as we're not supposed to do it in our own ears. Let's have a look. Okay, perfect, Max. Bring your head over to here. Open up the old ear canal. It's all right. Sorry, Loki. I'll get to you in a sec. It's okay. This way. There we go. There it is. And then you just do this. And he's like, yeah, that's the spot. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Now I don't know if that's good for them or not, but they love it. Here we go, let's try this one again. You do this one. Here we go. It's alright, I know you're a bit nervous of this. I'm trying to keep it in shot, you see. So, here we go. Where is it? Just there. There we go. There you are. How's that, huh? How's that? Enjoyable? Yeah, you love it. Yeah, so apparently the old ear cleaners that you're not supposed to stick in your own ears. Don't stick them in cockatoo's ears either. Yeah, I'll give you a scratch. But Loki needs to have a scratch because it's only fair, isn't it? Yeah? Only fair. Hello, Loki. Yeah. You want it or not? She doesn't like the stick as much as Max does. Sorry, I'm having trouble concentrating on two birds and one stick. Oh, that sounds... Oh, gosh. There's the old lug hole. Let's get right in there. Do you want me to get a Q-tip in there? I'll get it in. There we go. Maybe this is easier. Come here. I'm going to move over for a second. Yeah, there we go. Like this. It's okay, mate. Oh, you're making it hard. No, we'll go this side. There it is. There's the old lug hole. There you go. Well, neither did I until today. But he had a bit of skin and it was driving him absolutely nuts. And so I thought, well, let's give it a shot. And it worked out. Worked out quite well. And as you can see, he loves it when you stop his scratches every time. Yeah? You know, we're a house of firsts, aren't we, here? What's that on your head? Just looking... Just a bit of shadow work. Yeah. Okay. I love that half-closed eye he does. That's when he's really getting into it. Now, I'm going to give... Oh, far out. Sorry, it's very hard for me to keep everything going. Hey, Lurky, stop. Stop the old plucking. But I think she's just molting at the moment. I've been giving her regular sprays and stuff. Now, Max is going to come up and bite me on the head because I'm scratching Loki. Mostly sweet boy, yeah. We all love him. My daughters love him. The other half loves him. Like, for a cranky, he acts like a cranky middle-aged man, but like, he has got this way of just getting in. That's the best way of describing it. He's got a way of winning you over. Everyone who ever meets him just loves him. They've all got their quirks, and Loki, she's good too. She's got she's a little bit crazy. I don't know why I picked Loki. It was just because it was a demigod, and at the time, the family were naming parrots. I found out later on it was Harry Potter, actually. My sister named one of the parrots Minerva. And so when this one literally dropped on our doorstep, we gave it the name Loki, and then found out later on that Dad wanted to call her Max because Minerva Maxova or something like that. So, diplomatic incident ensued. Fortunately, Max dropped on us, and so we ditched the demigod names and gave him the name Max just to keep my dad happy. And in the end, it just fits him. The name just fits him like a hat. His full name is, of course, Pontifex Maximus Annuus III. And especially at the time when, like, when his wings were clipped, he could only basically strut across the ground, and he was so pompous. So, you know, Pontifex Maximus, so perfect a name. Yeah. Love these guys. All right. We're going to say hello and goodbye to Painey. Poor little Painey. She laid an egg the other day. Come here. Yeah. She was looking to start a family with us, and like, well, not going to work, Painey. You need like another pigeon for that. Not that we're into the pigeon breeding game. Although I'm one of these people who, like, because I've had children, I know what an amazing thing they are. And so I really am a bit split over that, because like we certainly don't have the capacity to look after a whole stack of chicks, but at the same time, yeah, you guys, I understand the biological imperative, don't I? I understand the biological imperative, and I understand that, you know, you'd be sad without it. So if it happened, I'd deal with it. Yeah. Well, there's certainly it's in their DNA. I suppose it is. It's not that we want pigeons. It's not that we want the chicks. It's just we want to make sure that these animals feel fulfilled, basically. And I think that being a part of the breeding cycle is part of their fulfillment. So, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, I reckon. I'm definitely not wanting to get more. Like, I don't have the capacity to look after more. Just a ethical quandary I'm in. All right, I think that's about it for tonight. I honestly feel at the end of these streams, it's very much like those people who are very sickening on the phone. It's like, you hang up, no, you hang up. So I'm sorry about all of that, but it's me, I suppose. Had a great day cutting opals. Not all of the opals worked, which is a bit disappointing, I know, but it's okay. Showed you the birds, which was kind of fun. I hope you enjoyed the time. If you're new here, like and subscribe on the way out. If you didn't like it, well, you don't have to like and subscribe. Good night, everybody, and Dr. Phil out.